This video demonstration will detail what a recipe is and how to work with them in your DataNinja manufacturing and inventory system. A recipe is where you bring everything together that is required to manufacture an item. Anything that you produce and also want to track an inventory needs to have its own recipe. If you're not quite sure whether you should build your entire process in one recipe or break up the workflow into sub-assemblies, click here for a video that addresses that specific question. A recipe contains your scalable formulation or bill of materials, process-wide control points with escalations if user entries are missing or outside alert limits, an operator instructions section including requirements for data entry at each step, and finally a workflow of who must sign off and in what order for production to be completed. The initial setup of DataNinja recipes for your business is simple. I'll show you two ways to get the job done: building from scratch or using a template. You might need to build from scratch when you are just getting started with production of an entirely new item. Starting from my home page, I'll go into Recipes and click Add New Recipe. Since this recipe will be for a product that my business has never run before, I need to create a new part number. With the part number created, I'll fill in a few more details and then click Add Recipe. Hopefully this page looks fairly familiar to you. It's just like the chocolate chip cookie recipe we looked at in the beginning of this video, only the sections to display the formulation, control points, operational steps, or approval routing are left blank. Clicking the plus sign in each of these areas will guide me through adding the right information. This icon provides even more detailed instructions to add your operator steps. It shouldn't take more than a few minutes to get a new recipe set up from scratch, but if you have already built a workflow in DataNinja, using your previous work as a template will help you save time. Let me show you how to do that next, building from templates. From my home page, if I want to create a new recipe using a template, I need to first open the recipe that will serve as the pattern master. I do that by going to my recipes. Let's say in this example, I'm planning to make a new cookie, oatmeal raisin. I could start with the chocolate chip cookie recipe as a template. With the chocolate chip cookie recipe open, I'll click on this icon and select Copy Recipe to another part. If I didn't already have a finished good part number for oatmeal raisin cookies, I could click here to add it. Fortunately, in this case, I don't have to do that because DataNinja has already pulled in that part number for oatmeal raisin cookies, that is, when it was added to my financial system. Now, all I have to do is update the formulation as well as any other process parameters that will be specific to the new oatmeal raisin product. To update my formulation, I'm going to delete chocolate chips and add oatmeal and raisins. Oatmeal is a new ingredient to my business, so I'll have to add it as a new part number. I'll generate the part number and click to add. I'll add a description, shelf life. Oatmeal is a raw material, and I will measure its inventory in kilograms. Now I'm going to decide to track oatmeal by batch track. There are other methods, but that's a topic for another video. I'll select the default warehouse. When I receive oatmeal, this is where it will be put, and I want to put it in the bin location of Received Quarantine. Now I'm ready to add the part. To complete, I'll fill in this last bit of information. Now this last piece is very important. I need to make sure that the standard quantity field is right. Now the standard quantity is the amount of ingredient required to produce 1 unit of the finished good. In this case, the finished good is the oatmeal raisin cookie. And the oatmeal raisin cookie is quantified in cases. So the standard quantity of oatmeal here needs to represent the amount of oatmeal used in 1 case of finished oatmeal raisin cookies. Since I track this part number, oatmeal, using kilograms as the unit of measure, this standard quantity needs to be the amount of oatmeal in kilograms used to make 1 case of oatmeal raisin cookies. Because I know that 2 kilograms of oatmeal go into each and every single case of oatmeal raisin cookies, 2 is the right number to put here. Let's go through this process one more time with raisins. I already have raisins in my system, so I don't need to add a new part number. I'll just enter the part number for raisins. Now here we are at that standard quantity field again. Since I track raisins in pounds, the unit of measure for raisins is pounds, the number I put in here for the standard quantity of raisins needs to represent the quantity of raisins in pounds required for use in a single case of oatmeal raisin cookies. In my example, 3.5 pounds of raisins go into each and every case of oatmeal raisin cookies, so the right number to put here is 3.5. For questions about standard quantity or units of measure, click the link over here. Once the required parts section is correct, I will just review the other details and make appropriate changes. I'm going to change the oven temperature alert threshold. I'll edit a work instruction so my operators know to adjust the line speed for this product. The target yield alert threshold needs to be adjusted as well. Also, since this is a new product, I'm going to add another approval step in the electronic signature sign-off workflow. Lastly, I'm going to change the life cycle of this recipe from imported to released so that we can use it in production. With changes saved, we are now ready to schedule this new product, and we will have full inventory and manufacturing operations managed and linked with the accounting system. Hopefully you now have a good idea of what a recipe is and how to add and edit them, as well as how easy they are to set up. Using DataNinja will help you keep track of your manufacturing and inventory easily. If you have any questions, just log into your account and click on this icon to chat with our dedicated 24/7 support team, or give us a call. Thank you.